Are you interested in learning to grow your own food, or are you looking to start a food grown project? Then we would love to connect with you. Now, me and my brother Nick, we started learning to grow our own food back in 2020, which later evolved into a not-for-profit community food growing project called Nourish Community, which is based along the south coast of the UK, and it has probably been one of the best things we have ever done. Now, we started growing food for some of the crazy reasons that were going on in 2020, and since then it has opened our eyes up to just so much more of, the good, the bad, and everything in between. But by learning to grow our own food, it has not only empowered us and inspired us to evolve the project and to explore a number of other ways that we can support ourselves, our health, our well-being, our family, friends, and the community, but also the people that we have connected with and met has been incredible. And I cannot recommend it enough to start learning to grow your own food. And maybe you don't have the space or the time to run a project yourself, but maybe you can get involved with a project like ours. I mean, there are so many food grown projects and community projects all over the world now. It's such an exciting time to be alive. Now, I know there's quite a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world, which I can't deny. However, there is still so much great stuff going on. And one of the things I love is every week when some of our friends who come to the garden and volunteer, we'll get together, we'll have a catch up, we chat about our week, we chat about, our concerns, what we're working towards. And, our hands are in the soil. Most of us are walking around barefoot. It's an amazing experience and journey to share with people. Now, I never used to really get the whole community, community is important, all this stuff. I wasn't interested. But it wasn't until 2020 when we started to learn to grow our own food, and predominantly to support our family, our friends, and the community. So our surplus produce, goes to all these projects in the local area. And it's amazing to be able to support people, because one thing that really, really kind of irritated us, and we just were like, this doesn't make sense, is like, why has organic food, aka food that isn't sprayed and treated with all of these dangerous chemicals, why has that become so expensive? And it's so hard and unrealistic for people to be able to afford to eat just normal food. Organic, what's that saying? Organic isn't a trend, it's a return to tradition. And it really stuck with me, because I was like, why has organic become this almost elitist thing? And, you have to jump through like all these hoops to be a certified organic grower. And it costs an arm and a leg. And a lot of people just can't afford that. But yet the really cheap, nasty food that is sprayed in all these chemicals and wrapped up in all this plastic and, God knows what else. Why is that so accessible? Why can these people get away with selling us that, if you want to call it food, how can they get away with that? And it really started to I was like, this just is so unfair and wrong. So it really inspired us and motivated us, lit that fire within us to basically grow as healthy and organic produce from the garden, and to be able to donate that to low and no income people. So that, some of the people we work with, they will take our produce, they will take it to a kitchen or a soup kitchen, and they will cook all these meals, and then it will get handed out to people that unfortunately living on the streets, or, living in pretty, not decent living conditions. And that was amazing, because how I see it is, if we can come together, grow more food, get a community project going, if that's something you want to do, then we can literally support people. And by supporting their physical health, by taking out as many of those dodgy chemicals as possible. And for the record, myself, I do not have a squeaky clean diet. However, the majority of my diet comes from organic produce grown in the garden. And that, I have to say, has been amazing, because the more good we put in, the more good we can get out. And I mean, that's just one of the many reasons why I think starting a food growing project is just such a great idea. And also, you know, I've touched on this before, but the more independent food growers we have dotted around the country or the world, the more we don't have to rely on third parties and these, you know, somewhat very power hungry companies that control your food. You know, there's that saying, if you want to control the people, control the money, control the food. And I have to say it to me, it's clear as day what's going on in the world right now. So if you want to become an independent food grower, grow for yourself, start a food project, you know, I would love to hear from you. Let us help you. So by all means, get in touch. You can join our online food growing community on Facebook. We have different social medias. You can drop us an email, you know, because moving forward, our food growing project, which is called Nourish Community, we are evolving that to help more people get growing and set up so they can support themselves, their families, and their communities. Anyway, I'll leave it there. I look forward to hearing from you. And also you can check out our grow guides, our Nourish Garden Planner in the description, where we cover everything we grow, why we grow it, the seed companies we buy from, you know, down to the varieties of plants we grow, companion planting. We have a sow, grow and harvest schedule, so you can always keep on top of growing so that you don't get overwhelmed in the garden, because overwhelm is a real thing. So yeah, anyway, I'll leave it there and I will see you guys very soon.